Hey YouTube, once again guys, thank you for support. So I have been exploring the Buffalo Bills playbook extensively for the last couple of months, and there's a lot of great plays that I have been using to score and move the ball effectively up and down the field with my opponent. So I want to go and show you some of my favorite plays that I like to use out of this playbook. It's just scratching the surface. There's a lot of depth to this Buffalo Bills playbook, and if you really wanted to master all these formations, you can definitely do that. But let me go ahead and show you this. I'm going to show you some of my favorite plays out of just the standard Buffalo Bills playbook, stock playbook, and then I'm also going to show you the live NFL playbook upgrades. That actually drops a couple formations out in a couple plays, but let me go ahead and jump into this for you right now. All right, so one of the plays I really love in this playbook is out of the gun split Bills, and it's the actual first play we take a look at. It's the Z spot play. This is very easy to set up, and it's good to use like on first and second downs. You don't want to spam this play too much, but it will catch people off guard just because of the way this play develops. And I'm going to run against random defenses against the computer. So basically set this play up. All I'm going to do is take my tight end / fullback position. I'm going to put him in a wing going the opposite direction. Brown's route is another route that I want to go ahead and hot route and put him in the slant. So let's do two quick adjustments. My first progression is going to be Diggs off to the left. He's going to be my first read. I'm going to see if coverage falls back into Diggs' route. If it doesn't, I'm usually going to hit that route. If the guys float up, historically that means I can hit Knox underneath. And if the user starts floating over to the route by Knox, I usually can hit Brown on the backside, and I've also got Beasley in the deep corner. But if I see guys float up, I'm just going to go drop it down to this tight end fullback route and get easy yards, get an easy 10 yards. Now, if the defenders don't play down, I've got the slant on the backside, and I can get a big completion, sometimes rack that for a touchdown. And in case your opponent uses the opposite side, you can go to the other side right here. So this is a good play I use. You can't spam it too much because they can lock it up, but it's a play I like to go and throw into my scheme to catch my opponent off guard. Now, another one of my favorite plays is out of the gun wing slot offset. In particular, it's this play right here, which is stick and nod. Another good play to go and throw into your scheme. This is a running formation, so it's also your opponent has to defend against a run. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll pop my opponent with a run out of this formation, then jump into this play when I got a third down situation I need. So really, it's an easy setup. All we're going to do is we're going to take our running back and put him on a wheel. If I want a faster release with the outside receiver Diggs, I'll put him in a drag route, but you can leave them as is. And the key to this play is the motion of the outside tight end, which is Knox, and reading the play correctly. First and foremost, this route on the outside actually gets a very glitchy release, and if the defender doesn't come down to play it, it is an easy completion. So you just watch the defender over that tight end, and if he floats up, you're going to pop that. Then you get a second read, which is essentially going to be this outside, this running back route. A lot of times defenders are not going to play that correctly, and you actually can get an easy completion with it. And if your opponent chases everything, I always give myself another way to attack my opponent with, and just a drag or just leave that in on the backside. And that just gives me another read that I can hit my opponent with on the backside. So this is a really good offense, or a good play to go and jump into in third down situations, just to keep your opponent honest. Occasionally you can go ahead and catch your opponent in man coverage. You've got the corner, and you've also got basically that other route on the backside. So, but this is a good play to go and jump into for that underneath stuff and that action off to the left. Now, out of the gun doubles, I actually have two money plays that I like to use in a scheme. First and foremost, I've got this really glitchy running play, which is the RPO zone peak. And what makes this play, it's just a very glitchy running play that usually you get really good blocking with where you can take off to your quarterback, or you can hand it off to your running back. My preference is to hand it off to the running back, but a lot of times what happens is you get these really glitchy holes, and it's very easy for you to run up to. As you can see right here, I'm actually getting pretty big holes for a subpar running back. Sometimes you can really catch people off guard if they go into man coverage. With this route. So a lot of times what I'll do is before I run the ball, I'm going to motion this guy over and see if the defender follows. And typically if he does follow for particular reasons, a lot of times this little out route, this route right here by the tight end will be available. And see how this guy follows over, and now you've got the route by the tight end. That's going to be easy for easy completion that you can catch your opponent off guard. So I'm not getting the type of play that I typically want in this type of situation, but this is a good play to go and jump into, and I assure you that I've gotten a lot of great touchdowns just because I pull a guy out of man coverage like that. Now, building off of that that RPO zone peak play, I also throw in a play which is the spot smash. And typically what I do is I'll block and release my running back, and I'm going to go ahead and take this wide receiver, slide him over, and I'm going to streak him up, and I'm going to take my other outside receiver, Diggs, and put him in an out route. This is going to essentially give me a bench concept off the left, where I can actually go and hit this out route for an easy completion and rack for some more yards. Also, the corner route will be available for a big completion too. And sometimes you can catch your opponent off guard if they go into like a cover 2 shell. So I'll motion this guy over. And if he's not playing the right coverage, a lot of times you can get yourself a one-play touchdown opportunity if he's playing cover 2 over the middle. So this play will pretty much beat every single coverage in the game and allows you to just attack your opponent. So I like having it in my back pocket in conjunction with that zone peak. Now, another great play out of the gun doubles Y flex is this play, the shark halfback wheel. This is a great stock play that you can throw into your scheme. And look, you got another RPO zone peak to go ahead and catch your opponent off guard. But let's take a look at the shark halfback wheel. So with this particular play, I don't leave the running back stock. I leave pretty much the other route stock unless I'm just going to adjust out of it. But you can run the stock and really give your opponent a lot of fits. I like to hot route the wheel with the running back. I just find that you can actually get a completion underneath. First check down is this little drag underneath. It's going to get into a nice little sweet zone. And if you let it carry with this particular play, you'll watch that the running back will actually block for you at the next level. A lot of times they'll get out there to block for you and actually give you some more yards to get to pick up. If you get a guy that actually follows, you've also got this route right here by the other tight end that will come back and hit. And then you've also got basically the Mills concept up top that you can complete against cover 2. That's going to be available to you, and against cover 4. So nice completions with all these routes. You've also got that deep comeback route if you leave this play stock. And that actually will get you a nice little completion to the backside if he actually leaves that guy in a one-on-one or some kind of a quarter defense out there. So this is a nice play to go and throw into your scheme. You can conversely go ahead and make adjustments where you can streak up your slot receiver, put a drag underneath. Just keep your opponent guessing on where you're going to be going with the ball and make completions that way. So I love this play a lot. It's a good base play that you can use in conjunction with a run play to really confuse them and piss off your opponent. Now, if you access the NFL Live playbooks by turning it on, that will actually give you some access to some additional formations that aren't not a lot of people see online, but are very glitchy and have some great plays in it. So the formation I really love out of this is going to be the weak Z close. In particular, one of the great plays is going to be the Z curl play. Great play. And basically how I run this play is I'm going to streak up my tight end. I'm going to put a slant on the backside. I'm going to motion this guy over, and that's going to be my first read is the underneath read. But you've also got this wonderful post on the back side that actually can hit for a big completion. You got a flat underneath it. So I like to motion this guy out as just as distraction, but look at this post right here. This post is very, very glitchy, and we'll get underneath the coverages, but it gets great depth too. And if your opponent actually chases that post, you've also got this little flat that you can check down to, and you could put a fullback or a running back into that position. So it's just a really, really good play. I've used this extensively online. It's frustrated a lot of people because you've got basically these great little route combinations right there. So that was a quarters type situation. Bad read by me, good play by the CPU, but you can see that if you read it correctly, you can still pick up some really good yards. Now here's another good play I like to jump into. It's the play action sprint halfback flat. And basically I run this thing stock outside of a streaking up the tight end. I want to clear out the tight end. And really it's just a high-low read off to the right. A lot of times this little circle route, which is kind of a skinny short circle route, is going to get separation against my opponent. But I'm really looking underneath first and checking it down to the running back. I want to establish that flat against my opponent. So if you do this conjunction with the other play, you quick snap into this inside zone play or a counter play. This is a nice little formation that you can use that really frustrate and piss off your opponent and get easy first downs. So they also have a similar play that you can use, which is the play action sprint halfback flat out of the strong Z close, which is similar. And then another thing is the I-form Z close 2. It's got a lot of weird little glitchy plays that you can throw into your scheme. But I love this formation. I love this playbook. It's got a lot of great plays in it. You even got your bunch tight end formation that you can throw into your scheme. Not something I commonly use, but everything you pretty much would need to be very effective against your opponent, including Texas ISO plays and draw plays and stuff like that. So guys, this is basically some of my favorite plays out of the Buffalo Bills playbook. I even scratched the surface on some of the things that I like to use right now, which is the empty base, empty Y slot, and then some of the others great formations that a lot of other players use online. But these are my favorite plays. Tell me what plays you guys like to use in the Buffalo Bills playbook if you are a user. I'd love to get your feedback from it. So once again, if you do like these type of tips, guys, make sure you hit the subscribe button and also that notification icon, because I'll be rolling out all different types of offensive and defensive tips to take your game to the next level. And if you sat through this entire video, you probably like it, so go ahead and smash that like button. Thank you, and until next time.